And welcome back to another episode here on The Review Show. Now today's going to be a little bit different. I am actually staying at a Super 8. It's very rare, but sometimes situations like these happen that you have to book things on the fly. Once again, I booked it just online. That way I can make the process a little bit faster. Once again, if you do not know who I am actually a world traveler, and I do actually reviews on hotels, car rentals, different locations, different countries, and I am mostly known for reviewing best westerns. So either way, let's get right into it. Now, from the moment I checked in, it was a quick, easy process. I just went straight to the clerk, and he basically just asked for my name. He looked me up on the system, gave me my ID, and he went ahead and he gave me a key card. Then I went and I proceeded to my room. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you this room. This is a king size bed, and here you go. So this is the room at the Super 8. This is the king size. There's a chair over here. There's a little work desk. Okay. We got two lamps, we got night tables. We actually got a microwave. I already checked in. And we got a fridge over here. I'm kind of tired, so I kind of checked in. I'm doing the video a little bit later. I was coming from a wedding, so my suitcase is up already. But it seems clean, surprisingly, for a Super 8. I'm very surprised. Here's the bathroom. Nice and clean. Toilet. Obviously your towels. Hand towel soap. That's it. There's a lamp over here. You got your AC in here. And you go right there. And with that said, let's go ahead and let's move on to the outside. Let me show you some of the parking area. Let me show you some of the amenities that are outside as well. Show you how to get in. That way it's a little bit easier if you've never been here. It might be a little confusing because there's like a Quality Inn right in front of it. There's our friend Best Western to the left, but this is the front side of it. And over there you can see this kind of rinky-dinky sign that says Super 8 by Wyndham, which I think might be the only sign that there is. But the size is the one that is towards the front. I'm walking towards the hallways of where all the rooms are. You can see them here on the left side. And I'm going to go ahead and go downstairs. I did see some elevators. Doesn't seem to have a pool or anything, or a gym center. There is a hotel laundry. Now, if I have not mentioned before, this is actually the Super 8 at Cookeville, Tennessee. That's right, Cookeville, Tennessee. I'm going to show you on the map exactly where it is. That way you know exactly what location I'm talking about. It is one of those smaller towns in those smaller cities, so you might not be familiar with it. But if you're driving by and if you want to stay here, it's up to you. At least you know what you're getting into. Once again, these reviews are based on my opinion and my personal experience, so just because I have a good experience or a bad experience does not mean that you will have the same, but at least it's a way to get started. Now, they do offer breakfast here in the morning from 6 to 9. So let me go ahead and now let me show you what the breakfast area looks like.
Now the reception is also the same as the breakfast area, so you have to go through the same doors. And over here you'll see that for some reason there was like pointing where the hot water was, because I guess that machine wasn't really working. And there was just more water bottles and some apples. Here I was just getting a cup of water because there was technically nothing else to drink, and I personally don't really like to drink coffee. So I went and I set it down on the table so that way I can kind of like claim my table, let's put it that way, while I went to go get basically the only thing I could get, which was waffles. And for some reason I always get asked how to make the waffles when I'm there. So sometimes I do make a video on how to make it. Hopefully it helps people out because they get confused. On this one they already had sprayed the butter on it with the little sprayer that's on the left side. So I went ahead and I just filled up 4 of the, I guess, holes of each one of these waffles. And then I just grab the cup when I'm done with it and I put it to the side before I actually go and I throw it away. But basically you just close it up. It's automatic. You flip it to one side and then there will be a countdown. Then over here I'm just gonna go and throw it away. There was some like applesauce there and just some like granolas and some muffins. Not much to it. That's all the breakfast. So once it's done, it'll beep. You just get back up and then basically do the process backwards and open it up. Over here I'm just trying to get a plate so that way I can put the waffles on there. And then I just try to use these tongs to get the waffles out just one by one, because it was really hard to get them all 4 to come out together, unless if they get pretty stuck or so. Anyway, just remember that when you are done using things, just put them back to where you found them. That way the next customer can grab it. And then you come over here and then there's some syrup. It's very liquidy, it's very watery, so it might look like I'm just putting a lot. I know I'm going to get criticized by it, but when you actually taste it, you can feel how liquidy it is. But this is all the breakfast there really was. There wasn't anything else.
Now that you've had a sense of what the breakfast looks like, I know it ain't much, but complimentary breakfast is better than nothing, especially for a motel. Now, I was a little bit surprised on this Motel 8 because usually I don't stay at these and I've had bad experiences on them in the past, but I would have to say that this one is a little step up from what I've been used to within this brand, this chain. Once again, there's things like there's cigarette burns still on the sheets. Unfortunately, I did see a roach in the bathroom. Sometimes this is going to be a quick short story, but from the moment that I checked in at nighttime, since I did get here pretty late, there was kind of sketchy people that were not too welcoming at night. I'm not going to get too much into it, but sometimes individuals like that have a tendency to come into very cheaper motels just because they can't afford anything else, and you can encounter that. So just be cautious and be prepared to see people like that when you come over here. Now, if I have to rate this place on the Richter scale, I would give it a 2.5 out of 5. That is correct, a 2.5 out of 5. It is a very low score. Once again, this is not a 5-star hotel. This is not really a place that I would like to stay at again. It's mostly one of those locations where you just want to come because you have nothing else that you could book, or you simply don't have the budget to get anything better. So if you're just gonna come here and sleep, that's kind of fine. It is on the very low end. They don't have such a good reputation, even though this one in particular does seem to have more modern amenities and it has a more modern look to it, and it's a little bit cleaner than most of them. So I'll give them that. The breakfast is not a real big breakfast like you would really expect, and from you've probably seen from other videos of mine when you see these amazing breakfasts. And like I said, sometimes it's the type of people that come here which can push you away. Just be alert. Another thing I forgot to mention is that, for example, my door, for example, the door lock on the bottom does not work, so I only have the lock that's on top in case if somebody tries to get inside. But that also doesn't give me such a peace of mind knowing that I'm not feeling fully safe because the items don't fully function on the door. And if you want to see more videos like these, don't forget to like and subscribe here only on The Richter Show. See you on the next hotel review, and hopefully it's not a Super 8.
Shout out to the host of the Richter. This the Richter Show. The Richter Show.